What's up, everybody? Another beautiful day. I got my buddy Doug, and we're hanging. We're hanging with Mark and Dougie, man. I had a great weekend, man. I know you've been all over the place, but I had a wonderful weekend, man. Friday, I got to see, no, Saturday, I'm lying. Saturday, I got to see Guns N' Roses. And, Axel looks a little rough. I ain't going to lie to you. He's 59. He did a lot of drugs. He partied a lot of chicks, He looks like an old woman. He really does. He sounded pretty good, but he looks like an old woman. He really does. I got lucky. I got tickets pretty good. I didn't get a comp this time. I guess I didn't play enough this week, which is a good thing. But I bought them. Weren't too expensive. And I'll tell you what, they still sound pretty good, man. I mean, I think he's 60 now, but he looks rough, man. He does. And let me tell you something. There was a lot of women in there that had outfits on from the 80s that really shouldn't be wearing them, man. There was a lot of 55, 60-year-old women that thought they were 22, and someone needs to tell them that they're too old to be dressing like that. I mean, there were some hot chicks. They don't get me wrong, but some of the older ones, boy, woo.
Some of those ladies need to hang up that rock girl look. It's funny. You go to some of these concerts, and, you guys don't age as well as some of the band members, sweetie.
Yeah. But it's funny because some of these the outfits they were wearing. I'm talking about, back in the day, back in the 80s, they were probably something special. But it's 2021, and you have a mirror. And before you leave the house, you need to look in that mirror and see your reflection. And I'm not saying, listen, I know I'm nothing special, but damn, man, you'll be wearing mini skirts. Nobody wants to see a 60-year-old woman in a mini skirt. But there were some hot chicks. And, Guns N' Roses kind of, you get all types of people. You get the young kids and you get the older people. I had people in their 70s next to me, man. Like, they were rocking, man. Guns N' Roses was good. I enjoyed it, They rocked.
Yeah, well, it's good to have Slash back because it was funny when he wasn't with the band, they had a guy that looked like him a little bit. He wore the same hat and shit. You're like, it's not Slash.
No. But these guys, I'll tell you what, they were on for 3 hours, man. I wonder if they were on any substances, I wonder if they were clean or not. But I'll tell you what, they were on for 3 hours and they were pretty good. Squeeze opened up, and I like Squeeze too. So they opened up, and it was a great concert, man. We had a great time, man. I like watching these bands because they're getting older now, and pretty soon you're not going to get a chance to see them anymore. So that's an
odd combination. Guns N' Roses and Squeeze.
Yeah, tempted by the fruit of a. Yeah, you're right, man. And then yep. And then Saturday I went to a wedding, and Sunday I went to a wedding, seen a couple old buddies, and we had a little too much to drink. And then Sunday night was the big night because I've been waiting for this game for a while, and you know what? Belichick, they still give him too much credit, man. The whole thing they were talking about, the scheming and this and that. You know what? He blew it at the end of the game. You knew that your kicker, his plant leg was a little messed up. He was kicking 58 and 55 yards in practice, and he was missing. He was missing because his plant leg. He was kicking 50 yards, okay, but listen, Doug, kicking. You were a soccer player. You were very good at that. There's a very big difference between a 50-yarder and a 58-yarder, without a doubt. Once you get past over 50, and now you're talking about the rain and everything. And listen, if he would have he had so much room to throw the ball. Mac Jones was on fire. We had a depleted secondary as the Buccaneers. If he just completes one more pass, it makes the field goal a lot easier, and you give Brady less time. Even if he kicks the field goal, Brady's got 45 seconds and 2 timeouts. You know the story. You know he's going to do it anyway.
Out there for a second. Yeah, well, it seemed like a bad call. It also, I don't know how much time was left or how much yards they needed. Like, how many yards did they need to get the first down? 3 or 4?
Fourth and 3. But you go for it. You go for it.
Yeah, you got to go wet.
Doug, I think there's more of a chance of you getting 3 yards than kicking a 58-yard field goal in the rain. And you can't do it in the practice when it wasn't raining. You couldn't do it. So, and you're supposed to be the legendary coach, man. You're supposed to know these things. Listen, I'm not a legendary coach, and I knew it. So, I don't know. Yeah. I think that he needs to retire because he doesn't have Brady anymore, and he's going to be tarnished. And you go out on top. Don't go out on the bottom.
Well, he's definitely starting to slide, and he's no more Mystic Belichick, And you know what? That was a bad call, and a lot of people called him out on it.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm a soccer guy. It was a much better, like you said, it was just a much better idea to take the chance to get the 3 yards.
Yes.
3 yards.
And your quarterback's on fire. He was like 17 at 17 at one point. Our secondary's completely depleted. Richard Sherman hasn't played in a whole year, and he's playing because we're so depleted, you know?
How great was that doink when it hit the post?
I loved it.
It was so loud.
I loved it. I honestly didn't think he was going to kick it because I thought it was too far, to be honest with you. But when it first went off his foot, I'm like, holy shit, he hit this.
Yeah.
But even if he hit it, I thought Brady would come back with 45 seconds and 2 timeouts to get a field goal. I thought he'd do it anyway, you know, because he's done it so many times, you know, so I kind of expect him to do it, you know.
He's the man.
Talking about embarrassing things, you know, making a bad call, whatever it is, that you know, it's kind of embarrassing making a bad call in front of all those people. How about going to the zoo with all your little kids and you're like, hey, get your popcorn, get your hot dogs. Oh, look at the gorillas. They're so cute. And next thing you know, next thing you know, the 2 gorillas are going at it and they're doing a little oral on each other.
I saw this video and I thought it was odd because, you know, it's one thing. Okay, sometimes you see like, especially the monkeys, the chimps, you know, they play with their penises, you know, a lot.
And Doug and me. I mean, don't just believe it on the monkeys.
I mean, yeah, it's not just the monkeys, but then you saw these gorillas, these silverback gorillas, you know, and the one just laid down and went like this and opened the legs, and the other one came. I couldn't tell the male from the female.
I'll tell you what, yeah, I thought girls would be a little more hung, man. I'm a little, I was surprised.
Next, she knew what she was doing. You know, they obviously weren't married, those 2 gorillas, because she went right down on them. It was like, you know, doing the smoke 'em slow. And I'm like, and it almost said like, do these gorillas watch porn? Because it was almost like, you know, just like, okay, come and get it. And I was hearing the music, and she even pushed away some of his fur. You know, it's like she's like, you haven't man groomed in a while, and then you know, and then she started blowing him. I mean,
the best part of that was the terrified parents. They were so terrified. Like, how do you explain to your child what the hell's going on? You know, your 8-year-old, what are they doing, Daddy? Well, I'm not sure, honey. Ask your mom. Ask your mom.
Dad's mom, like, I have no idea.
Mom knows nothing about that, by the way.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's happening to that lucky gorilla.
I've been married for 22 years. I know nothing what's going on with that gorilla. I've never seen that before.
All I know is I'm going to go to the zookeeper and see if there's a room here. I'd like to stay here at the zoo myself.
Down the gorilla cage for a couple of days. Mark joined the zoo. What happened? Doug and Mark are zookeepers now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's funny, man. But yeah, they were horrified. And I thought it was kind of funny, man. Yeah, you never listen. When you're dealing with you know, animals, you never know, man. They don't care who's around. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. So I thought it was kind of funny, man.
That was a great video.
And yeah, I thought it was funny. You know, you don't see it every day. So let me tell you something. It's becoming a crime. I guess they're doing it a lot now because people are fed up. But the George Floyd statue got tarnished again. They got someone threw something on. I don't know if it was white paint or if it was ice cream. A skateboarder went by and they threw some kind of substance on George Floyd. But because people are upset because, listen, we all know that statue shouldn't be there. And there's no reason for it. We took down Christopher Columbus and Robert E. Lee and Ulysses Grant, and we put a fentanyl felon up, you know. And people have had enough, you know. But it's funny. They're looking after this guy like he killed JFK. I mean, they're like, where is this guy? It's all the news. Like, they did less when that poor girl got kidnapped. There's less of a crime scene to figure out what happened than with this George Floyd thing. It's a skateboarder threw something on it. Big deal.
I think it wasn't just his. It was Breonna Taylor has a statue in there in that same area. Breonna Taylor, who's, you know, who got shot because she was at a house with her drug dealer boyfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing, you know, to me. And you know, again, nobody deserves to die yet. But to honor and to like put these people up on pedestals, and they were just, you know, if anything, not of the, you know, moral ilk of people that you'd want to like. What does that message say, you know, to certain communities? Like, oh yeah, we're gonna idolize this person, and then you have the audacity to say, well, how dare you have a statue of a Confederate soldier when, you know, they actually led, and who knows, even though it was for a different side, and there was people that followed. It was a half of the country at some point. So, well,
I have a feeling that there's going to be more of a hunt for finding this guy than the guy who shot the police officer sitting in his car. You know, the guy that, you know, they had a video of him walking, and I never heard any more about that, by the way. We heard about it one day several years ago, whenever that was, and we haven't heard anything about it since. Right. But this case is we need to find the perpetrator right away, because this is very important.
Even more importantly, I think it's silly to think that it won't continue to happen.
I hope it does.
It will continue to happen. Yeah. I mean, let's face it. And whether it's right or wrong, I don't care. It's going to continue to happen. So then eventually they're going to say, how long are we going to keep this fucking thing up? let's put it in a museum, and let's get back to normal.
Exactly. So now, I know you manage money. I know you're very good at it because people have told me that you've managed money for them. So I know you're very good at what you do. But I'm not good at managing money. I'm just not when it comes to stock. I'm good at putting money away. I'm good at doing certain things, buying and investing certain things, but not stock. I'm just not good at it. So I'm thinking about getting myself a pet hamster because Mr. Gox, the pet head, that's a weird name for a hamster, by the way, Gox, Goxx. He's been trading currency and he's doing rather well. He's actually doing better than some of the experts, including Warren Buffett, which, listen, man, the hamster knows stuff. He knows. Give him credit.
Warren Buffett isn't too far behind our President Biden when it comes to cognitive. He's starting to
decline.
Yeah.
But he's the king of that because that's where he made a lot of his money. But this hamster he's been making money, man. They put him in a room, they give him two little things, and he picks the right one every time. So hey, kudos to him, man. He's got more going on than Joe Biden right now. This hamster, so he knows a little something.
Well, let him open an account, let him open an office, and charge 1% to manage your money. Actually, they'll just charge you some walnuts. Right? Just charge you some whatever they eat.
So here's an interesting case, man. This I thought was kind of funny, and it just goes to show you everything can go to court. I mean, everything can go to court. I remember when I was working in the jails, one of the person that was like a mass murderer that killed like 30 people couldn't have pork, so we had to make sure that this mass murderer had the proper meal. It went to the court system because he wasn't allowed to have pork. So I understand that. You got to make sure the mass murderers go by their religion because that's very important. But
they'll break the law of killing another human being. But how dare I eat pork?
Exactly. Exactly. So this was kind of funny, I thought, because of court cases. You have all these court cases, a Michigan, not a child, I guess he was in his 20s, okay? He sued his parents for $30,411 and won because his parents threw away his porn. First of all, you're in your 20s. You shouldn't be living at home, first of all. Second of all, what kind of porn collection do you have that's $30,000? What's a magazine cost? What's a couple? Porn's free. I go onto my computer. Once you buy a computer, it's free. You get all the porn you want. You know what I'm saying? A computer, $30,000.
That's got to be one hell of a DVD collection. There's got to be Seika on there. Remember Swedish Seika, the sexy lady from the 70s?
Yeah.
Who was that porn chick that got in a lot of trouble because she was underage at the time?
Oh, Tracy Lords.
Tracy Lords, who was she was.
But here's the funny thing. He won. He won his parents should be able to do whatever he wants if you're living at your house. Man, my house, my rules. My house, my rules. What happened here? And the funny thing about it is, how did it come up to 30,411? Like you said, were these rare photos? What do you have? Mal Monroe's first pinup, what he was jerking off to? What was the thing that he had that was so expensive, man? You know what I'm saying? I remember the old days. You got me a Victoria's Secrets catalog, which was free, by the way. It came in the mail. I'd grab that thing, run to the room, run up, bump up the stairs. You know what I'm saying? That was free.
I'll picture Mark running.
Ooh, look at that little Swedish model. But listen, 30,000. He won the case. $30,411. The parents had to pay.
That'd be one hell of a story at Thanksgiving.
Do you think they're still talking?
I mean, I've had my parents throw away some baseball cards and stuff like that.
And that I get because baseball cards are very valuable.
Yeah, but porn, like you said, I remember the days there was Trove. There was like a shoebox. I don't know. I used to have a shoebox full of porn. You know what I mean? Like some videos or whatever you'd save of the girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, that kind of stuff, the personal stuff. And a shoebox. Never worth $30,000.
No. I mean, how I got it, I was kind of lucky. My older brother, had some of it in his room, and I used to sneak in his room and grab a couple of magazines. And then when I had some, I put it in his stash, and he got busted. He doesn't even know this. I put some of my magazines with his because, I don't want to get caught. I was like 13, and my parents cleaned his room out, and they found like what's wrong with this guy? He's got like 50 magazines here, like 30 of them were mine. But hey,
at least they're a chick.
To this day, I'm not saying nothing about it.
Well, also remember, you guys are paging through the same thing over and over again. You guys have your fingers in each other's, love juice. You didn't even realize it at the time.
But he did win the case, and hey, I'll tell you, that's got to be, like I said, that's got to be a funny case also, and you think about it. But you think about the taxpayers' dollars. This was a tax, you have to get a judge and a jury for this stupid case, And, I just think it's ridiculous. If I was on the jury, I'd be like, fuck that. It's innocent, So, talking about crazy things, William Shatner, he's 90. He says he wants to go to space. What do you think?
His hairpiece looks great, by the way. Why not? He should go. I wish Leonard Nimoy was still alive. Let them both go up there.
Why not?
Jeff Bezos is all tagging along for the ride too. I guess he's the driver.
Yeah.
It's his ship. You know what I mean? He should. He should bring that. He should bring the lady who was on Aliens.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver. He should bring him. Mark Hamill, who's just doing those Uber Eats commercials with the fucked up eye. He looks horrible. Why not bring Luke Skywalker?
Listen, why don't we bring Biden to space with him? Just throw Biden in space.
He's already in space, dude.
He's already in space.
He's already fucking walking around. By the way, Biden wants, I don't know if you've seen this thing. It was funny because now they're trying to blame this whole debt ceiling thing on the previous administration, which is, what else can the Democrats do is blame other people for the woes and the things. But now it's really getting scary because they want the IRS to be able to look at every withdrawal and deposit you make out of your account over $400 or something like that.
It's so much paperwork on that.
Can you imagine that? I mean, it's and people were calling Trump a treasonous, fucking dictator. They want to know everything you're fucking doing.
Yeah, I bought a pack of condoms. I need to get paid on that. It's ridiculous, and we're becoming more and more a communist country, man. With like we just talked about, they're making you get a shot now. That should be choice. Abortion.
What's gonna happen if now all of a sudden they say if I want to fly in an airline, I gotta get a fucking vaccine.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what this government needs to do is accept that those who have had COVID are vaccinated.
Yeah.
You have to classify people who've survived COVID as vaccinated or natural immunity. Otherwise, that's why people are getting pissed.
Yeah. And a lot of people are getting pissed, man, because, I told you I have a pilot friend of mine, him, and he was forced to get a shot. He was forced to get a shot. I'm not going to mention his name, but he was forced to get a shot. And, it's your body. Like you said, it's your body. And we don't know enough about this. And I don't think you should be forced to. I know another New York police officer was in the news that was forced to get a shot. Actually, he didn't get it. And he was fired. He didn't want to get it. And they terminated him. And I know there's several basketball players that are coming out. And, half America doesn't want to do it. And listen, I got the shot. I still think you have choice. You should have choice. That's what makes this country so great, is that you have choice.
It's completely ridiculous to think that we have to get a shot that you can still get the fucking virus.
People are still dying with the shot.
Enough of this horse shit, already. Just fucking wear your mask or you have to and all this shit. Hopefully it's all declining. In Florida, the numbers are just dissipating quickly, and they don't even want to report it because they want to make the guy still look bad here at DeSantis in Florida. Which
there's an election coming up in a couple of years, and this has to go until that because that won't.
Well, we got the big one next year, which is the congressional elections, and boy, it doesn't look good for the Democrats. But I don't want to get political. I'm trying to be in a good mood. That's the only thing I'm watching on is these people keep shitting the bed. And I watched this guy Mayorkas testify with stuff who's a complete fucking bobblehead. This administration is a fucking nightmare. And you know what? Let's just ride it out. Let's hopefully see. Warren was out there making fun of the Treasury Secretary, and she's and this fucking Lunu bin who thinks she's an Indian, is trying to tell people what they should do with their money and all this shit. But big day for big testimonies for Facebook, by the way, by that whistleblower.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. She came out.
Facebook went offline.
Yeah, went offline like 8 hours, I think.
A lot of people say it was because so they can erase all the the evidence of what they're doing wrong. I could do without Facebook. Listen, they were talking about it in the financial channels today. If something happens to Facebook, there'll be a quick replacement. Trust me.
Oh, believe me. And I don't know why it hasn't happened yet, because obviously we know Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, they're all left-wing nut jobs. They are. And I'm surprised that maybe Trump, he has a lot of money, or someone like Trump doesn't do the same thing towards the right or the middle. It doesn't have to be the right, but something that has more true to what's going on in the country, a forum where everybody can read real news,
Well, that's the problem. Right now, the truth is always relative to those who you know, it could be the truth, and somebody will deny it, say it's fake, this or vice versa. So we're arguing over those things, and I think it's going to get down to fucking just an ultimate brawl between this country and this side of the country and that. And I can't wait because there's some motherfuckers I just want to end.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm hoping every day. You know, I watch a little bit of the news and this. I try not to watch news too much anymore because I still want to. I don't really watch sports that much. I watch Brady, but that's it. And I try not to watch too much news.
He's so in love with fucking Brady. It's disgusting.
Hey, Brady. He did lose me money this week, but he lost me money because I took the spread, and if Antonio Brown didn't drop that in the end zone, I would have covered. And we missed the field goal also. But you know what? I did go 3-1 this week, so I actually I took the Hurricanes under 63, which was a barn burner, you know. But hey, listen, if you go 3-1, you did pretty good. You know, sports is very, very hard, and I think the more you know, the less successful you are. I might get a hamster for the sports too, because I think I know a lot about sports, and sometimes it hurts me. You know, sometimes it hurts me because you overthink. Sometimes you can't overthink it. You just got to pick it.
Even in the investment world, they say if you're right 51% of the time, you're making money.
Yeah. I got a buddy of mine. That's what he does, man. He's right a little bit more than he's wrong, and he makes money, and that's all you have to be. But it's hard. You would think something as easy is you get to pick the team, you get to pick the points, you get to pick everything you want, you get to pick, and you can't win 50% of the time. That's pretty crazy when you think about it. You have a 50-50 shot, and you get to pick it, so it should be better, and you still can't win. It's very hard.
The bookies always win, right? I mean, that's what
they always win. Yeah. Well, the bookies always win because they manipulate both sides till they get the 10%. You know, if they have 3,000 one way, they try and get 3,000 the other way, and then they get the 10%. So they can't lose. If you get the 10% and you take $20 million in bets, you win $2 million.
Every dollar that comes in goes out, and you get 10% of it. That's it.
Exactly, man.
Not
but
bad.
You know what? I tried to curb even this week I went to the Hard Rock, you know, for the Guns N' Roses, and I like playing the slots. I'm like a little old lady with the 2 slot machines. Hey, you know, I am. And it's funny because everybody's like, Mark, you're a smart guy. Like, I watch you do business. I watch you talk. You're not a dumb guy. And like, what is wrong with you? Why do you sit at these slot machines? And I don't know, man. It's an addiction. Like, people have addictions. It's an addiction.
It's horrible. I mean, some people are just lucky at it. Like, my mother-in-law just wins. Like, she'll play and she'll just walk away with $2 or $3 grand. I'm like,
but it's funny. People think that there's a system for it, but there really isn't. Right. You know, they're not going to make a system that you could figure out, because people will figure it out. People are pretty smart, and they will figure out anything they need to figure out. They'll probably always changing it. And the Hard Rock, people are going to come no matter what. You can not pay at all, and they'll still come because, like you said, it's an addiction. And I think they turned the machines off. Like,
hey, George Clooney and Brad Pitt figured it out, and those other 12 left.
Exactly. Well, there has been. If you watch Breaking Vegas and watch these shows, people have figured out. There was this one guy, real quick story. What a genius he was. He figured out, he bought these machines, you know, a replica machine that looked like the one in Vegas, and he took it home and he took it apart and he figured it out. And he made this metal wand. It was on one of those shows, 30-minute shows, like about, you know, greed, you know? And he figured out a metal magnet that you stick inside the slot machine, and the wheels keep on going until it hits a jackpot. And he hit for like $2.5 million the first day he did it. And then he started going to casino, and he was getting each pick, because that's what you have to do. But here's where he got caught. American Greed, it's called. American Greed. You got to watch it. How he got caught is because
Stacey Leach.
You never have enough money. You never have enough money. So what happened with him, he ventured out and let other people do it for him. He's like, I'll give you 30%. Here's the wand. And he had all these people doing it. And when you have everybody doing something, you get caught, because you may do it right, but the other person won't do it right. Like he did it right. He had 3 hot chicks surrounding him, so they were covering the cameras, and he snuck the thing in. These other people didn't do it that way, so they got caught. And what happens when they get caught? They turn you in, you know? So he ended up doing time. You know, and you can't cheat the casino. The casino can only cheat you. I mean, that's how it works. If you cheat the casino, you're done. You know?
But you're right. That's what happens. Keep it tight. The minute you start, you know, how do you say, delegating more people out, there's more room for error and more room for imperfections.
It's just, the problem is, you know what, people are just so, I love that show, American Greed, because it just shows you how greedy people are. You know, it's like a famous line, which is my favorite movie of all time, I think it is, the one with DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street. Like, that might be my favorite movie. But he has a part where his dad goes to him, he's like, the FBI's after you. You know, you got all this shit going on. He's throwing the money at the people on the yacht, you know. And he's like, you got a 100-foot boat. What else do you want? He goes, I want a 150-foot boat. It's like 100-foot yacht's not big. I want a 150-foot yacht, you know?
Well, I was in that rat race at one point, and I didn't keep going after the pellet.
Yeah.
I eventually stopped.
Yeah, you know, you got to look yourself in the mirror too, you know, and this, you know,
You got to be healthy when it affects your morality, what you do, your decisions you make. If it affects your health, you do too many drugs, you're all fucked up. You know, eventually you got to pay the piper. Just look at Axl Rose, and he looks like fucking Yosemite Sam fronting, fucking Guns
But
N'
I'll
Roses.
tell you what, he still moved around, and maybe it was what he was taking. I don't know, but he was moving, he was rocking, man. Hey, at this point, man, we're at 30 minutes, which, you know, today's a tough day because we all have to do a couple of things, man. But is there any subjects that we didn't talk about that maybe we should
I
have?
think the only thing that, you know, there was a couple great stories that the new TikTok game for kids, slap a teacher from behind. The kids are starting to do it.
Nice one. Let them try that with me. Slap me and see what happens.
Well, I think that I would say that to all the parents out there, if your kid slaps a teacher from behind, I don't think you should get mad if the teacher knocked the fuck out of them.
Yeah. And they had a game like that. It was called the Knock Knock game, and it was black people beating up white people. But knockout game, and it didn't get much coverage because it was black people knocking out white people. So if the game was reversed, it would have got a lot more coverage. But it didn't get a lot, and the game was so sick that they were knocking out. They were such pussies, these young kids, and they were pussies. They were knocking over handicapped people. They weren't knocking out guys like me and you, Doug, because that's the challenge. That's
listen, where I come from, anybody who's sucker punching anybody is a scumbag.
You're a pussy.
You could really fuck somebody up when you hit somebody from, especially if you're a big dude. You know.
And you know what? You don't give that guy a fighting chance. And you know what? And the same thing with these. And let me tell you something. I watch some of these things on TikTok. I watch TikTok because I'm on TikTok all the time, you know. So I watch TikTok and just watch other videos because I do videos myself. And some of these pranks that they pull, they're not funny, bro. Going up to people and throwing shit at them and doing all these things they do, they're not funny, dude. Like someone does that to me, I'm probably going to go to jail.
Well, yeah, I've already said anybody comes up to me and then jumps from behind or something like that, they may end up. That's why I never want to go to those fright nights, because if somebody ever came up from behind me and tried to fucking be, next thing you know, I end up flipping a boogeyman over and breaking his neck.
That's one thing, because you're going into something you're expecting because you're going to the haunted house. But if you're minding your own business on the you know, and some douchebag comes up and smacks you in the head, I can't even think about it. Or if smack somebody in my family, what's going to happen? It's going to go wrong. And someone's going to be 6 feet under. They're going to bury him. Someone's going to get buried. And then they're going to play, oh, this poor kid. He had his whole life in front. No, he was a schmuck that was going around sucker punching people. So no,
they'll show his 7th grade photo.
Exactly.
His school photo. The only thing I want to share with you guys also, good news for those of you who fear being struck by an asteroid. NASA,
I fear that a lot.
I think it can happen any minute. NASA's Armageddon-style asteroid deflection mission takes off in November.
I can't wait.
They're actually looking at ways to deflect it through laser beams and stuff. So they're on it, everybody. It may
that
be
was a serious issue I was having between wearing a mask and the meteor hitting me in the head as I'm walking. Those are two very serious issues.
That's right. I got to worry about that. I got to worry about somebody hitting me from behind thinking I'm a teacher. And now I'll still worry about an asteroid crashing on my head.
Exactly. That being said, where are you going to be next, Doug?
Wednesday night, I'm in your town, buddy. I'm right around the corner from you at that Gatsby's joint in Fort Lauderdale, featuring Jackie Sanchez, our headliner, very funny young lady. Thursday through Saturday, I'll be at Laugh-In Comedy Cafe in Fort Myers, Florida. So come out and see us.
Awesome, man. It's like I always say, I know I repeat myself all the time, but if you get a chance to see the show, it's not expensive. I think you only have to buy a couple of drinks. There's no cover charge, right?
Not at the one at Gatsby's, but it might be.
And it's, you know what? You get out for a couple hours, you get entertained because it's very entertaining. And some of these amateur comics or professional, I don't know what they are. They're as funny as some of the comics I see. I pay for it at the Hard Rock. I've been to concerts at the Hard Rock where I don't laugh, and I always laugh when I see Dougie. He's funny. So hey, you get a couple of drinks. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Try it. Try it out and see if you like it, man. He's telling you where to go. Come check it out. Yeah. And me, I do what I always do, man. I'm buying cards, I'm buying collectibles, I'm buying everything, man. Anything you can bring me, I'll buy it. The store's doing well. I'm at 418 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Hey, listen, if you want to bring it by, I'll tell you what it's worth, you know? Maybe you have that Pokemon cookie that sold for $15,000, you know? So
I would have ate it.
You
Oh, no.
no, Doug will be eating the cookie. I'm like, Doug, what are you doing? That's the Pokemon cookie. Everybody, listen, enjoy what you do. Peace out. Keep hustling. And that's it, man. That's all I got for you.
That's
And
it.
by the way, P.S. For everybody I told the last show, put all your money on Brady. He didn't cover. My bad. He did win, but he didn't cover. So, hey, it happens.
Yeah. The Mark's going to be running for his life now.
Hopefully too many people didn't listen to me. All right, everybody. Take it easy, guys.
Take care.